Hi, everyone. To all mothers out there, happy Mother's Day, and thank you all for joining us in our very first Real Talk session in a series that will be running on a weekly basis. Today, our topic, because of Mother's Day, is Mums Staying Alive. And I'm really pleased that I have three mothers joining us today, and I'd like to introduce them. The first one is Kimberly Koh, a young mummy.
Hi, I'm Kimberly, and I'm a new mom to a 4-month-old baby, very round baby, whose name is Judah.
Thanks, Kimberly. And next we have Oretha.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Oretha. I have 4 children. My oldest is 21. Her name is Alessandra. Second one is Ethan. He's 19. Is Aiden, 15, and Caleb, 10.
Wow, 4 kids. Congratulations. And
Thank
finally,
you.
joining us all the way from Adelaide, our glamorous grandmother, Dorinda.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm a mother of 3 children. Our youngest girl, Danielle, is 27. And then we have Denise, who's 29. And our son is 34. He's married to Nikki. And I have a granddaughter who's 18 months old. Her name is Annika.
Thank you, Dorinda. So all you guys are joining us out there, we're just going to have some time to chit-chat with our mothers here, but also please feel free to post any questions that you want us to be discussing, and hopefully we will also pick up some of your questions to talk about, okay? So the very first question, I'm going to go to Kimberly and say, hey, being a young mom, tell us 1 or 2 things you wish you knew before you became a mummy.
So I think that there's a very big difference between knowing theoretically, which I think a lot of expecting moms would do. We read all the books, we talk to our own moms and a lot of people about what to expect in motherhood. And then there's a difference with actually going through the experience and being a mom and knowing it in a very hands-on way. And so the first thing I think would be not realizing I'd be so smelly all the time. Smelly from spit up, because my son does spit up quite a bit, from saliva all over the place, and even my hair getting bits of his spit, not realizing it. And I kind of forgot what I smelled like before being a mom. And the second thing, I suppose, would be realizing that being a parent is a 24/7 thing. You can't turn off a switch or toggle it off and not have to worry about your child and just be back to pre-motherhood days. Once you're a parent, you're in it for the long run, and it's been a very exciting, challenging journey, but yeah, very fulfilling.
Thanks, Kimberly. So, so I'm sure a mum of 4, ranging from school going to an adult child. So, Oretha, how do you actually manage your time with all your 4 children with different needs?
Yeah, exactly. I sometimes I wonder how I would do it as well. It's not easy. Initially, before the older one got into college and all that, it was never easy because everybody had to get out at a certain time and have to get ready. Everybody before they go off to school and everything and all that. But I believe that I think talking to all of them is very important about how everybody has an important role in playing their part, whether in everything that they do. And of course, getting a very supportive husband is one thing. It's very important to get a backup from your husband. And because I live with my mother-in-law as well, and she plays a part in helping me when I'm unable to fetch the kids and everything. So I think the biggest needs are the younger one, which is the 15 and 10-year-old. Alessandra, she just started working and she's very independent now, and she takes the train to work, and she gets to do what she wants to do, and she's off to work and everything. But with 15 and 10-year-old, and even Ethan who's in college, I think balancing them in the sense that once in the morning I get Aiden and Caleb off to school, I have my time with Ethan that I can send him to college or maybe even just drive him to the train station. And it's not easy because everybody has a different timing. So I always have to be the one that's up earlier to get everything ready for breakfast, or to just get everyone packed in their lunch box and everything. And yeah, I think my husband plays a very important role in this part because he helps me when I can't um, take the kids to school because I run my own business as well, and I have to get up really early to go and meet my clients because I'm dealing with seniors. So he helps me when I can't send the kids to school at all. So yeah, it's very vital, just having him to support me in this part.
Thanks, Aretha, for just sharing a
Mhm.
glimpse of how one have to juggle. So I
Yeah.
want to come to Dorinda now. Congratulations for being a young, glamorous grandmother. So
Thank you.
could you share with us what are your key learnings just transitioning from being a mummy of adult children to being a grandmother?
Okay, first of all, I think being a grandmother is easier than being a mother. Yeah, because we just have to enjoy the grandchildren. And also, my husband and I were mindful to not impose our parenting methods on our granddaughter because we are not the primary caregivers, her parents are. So we want to be able to respect our son and our daughter-in-law. And I think they are doing a wonderful job. I see how Nikki takes care of Annika, and I just am amazed at how capable she is, like what Kimberly shared. They have all the knowledge, all these young mothers, they exchange news, their social media and all that. So they're very well informed. And also because Nikki's a teacher and for children, for I think it's early childhood. So I'm learning a lot from seeing how she takes care of Annika. So Annika is very well balanced. She's very balanced in everything. She can even say "Prish" manners at 18 months, right? So we just allow them to do it their way. We just be there to support in whatever way we can whenever we're there, which is not as often as we would love to be, because we are in different states. And another thing we have learned is also to give the children and their families space to learn and to grow, even if it means having them make mistakes and we just sit by and watch, which is not easy. But I think we have to give them that space to be on their own and to lead their own life as well. And most important, to pray for them. We pray for them. I tell my children, from babies to their adults, it's a different stage that they go through every time, and every stage is an adventure, right? So there are so many things that we can't do ourselves. We can't do it for them because of distance and because of so many things, but we know that God can do it. So I'm always praying for them. So I think that is one thing we have to do for them. And I believe that for my granddaughter as well, I'll be praying for her all the way. Yeah.
Thanks, Dorinda. I think Nikki is so blessed to have an understanding mother-in-law. And I will come back to this topic about extended families a little later. And I think we all just heard, right? Conditional MCO is now extended till 6 June. I can tell you when that was announced, I had all my teenage children screaming to go, oh no, I can't be locked at home again. So I just want to throw this question out, maybe starting from Kim. So who is easier to handle during MCO? Is it the husband or the kid or the children?
Wow, I know my husband is watching this right now, but I think he's well aware that he's the more difficult one. But also because my son is currently being breastfed, so he's got no requirements for his food, no prerequisites or whatever. Whereas I'm starting to get a phobia of the question, what's for lunch, what's for dinner. Uh, but of course, it's been a joy that I think Judah has just given me so much more meaning to this MCO because it's full attention on him. And both Ben, my husband, and myself, we are so blessed that we can have this bonding with Judah so that after this, he knows who we are. And yeah, it's a built relationship together, the three of us. Yeah.
So Aretha, what do you think?
The easiest to handle, I think, is my husband. The kids is like what Kim is like saying, Mom, what's for dinner? What's for lunch? I haven't even finished lunch. It's like, what are you cooking for dinner? That type of thing. And Yeah, I think just handling. I think it's more the younger boy lah. You know, Caleb's 10. You know, he's cooped up in the house, and you know he's irritating everybody in the house. And yeah, the husband is easy to handle. Yeah.
Thank God for an understanding husband. Dorinda, in Australia, you are locked down too. So
I know my husband is watching now as well, but I have to say he is more difficult to handle than the girls. The girls are independent, they can make their own food, but my husband is perpetually hungry during the lockdown. It's like, okay, what's there to eat? What's there to eat? What time are we having lunch? What are we having for dinner? Cook more, cook more. So he's the one who keeps me busy. The children are okay, they're fine. Yeah.
so you're blessed indeed. So I mean, so now whether you like it or not, we are all stuck at home, right? So the question about the next question I had was like, what are your views on being a stay-at-home mom and a working mom? And I think for me now, I am both a stay-at-home mom and a working mom, working 12 hours a day on my day job, and then continuing on my calling as a mom. So Dorinda, so what are your views? I mean, were you a stay-at-home mom or were you a working mom?
I was a working mom until my children were, I think, in college. So, okay, I was blessed because we had helpers, but then again, there are responsibilities which we have to take on ourselves, right? So I always say, for a woman, no matter how high or how low you are in the corporate ladder, there are things that you need to do, like grocery shopping. You need to plan the meals, the children, the tuition, and the activities and all that. So it wasn't easy, but yeah, if I could now, when I look back, I wish I had spent more time with them, lah. I would say, I was quite involved with my work, so that is my regret, lah, that I didn't spend more time with them.
But now you get to spend all of it with them now, and your
Yeah.
grandchild. Oh no, your child is okay. Aretha, what's your view then?
Okay, so I was a working mom until 2013. So when I had Caleb in 2010, I was still working with Sarjit at that time, but I also had the liberty to get off earlier. But it was only at 2013 that I became a full-fledged homemaker. And I was saying that I was telling Sarjit, like, working is much more easier than staying at home, and home. I mean, at work, you work, you have lunch dates, your friends and everything and all that. But when I became a stay-at-home mom, right, it's like it was so stressful because I didn't know how to deal with my time. I didn't know how to manage it properly. I was really stressed out about cleaning the house and everything and all that. But despite all that, right, I realized what positive that came out of it was that I was able to spend more time with all the four kids. They were still going to school at that point. I was picking them, and we always have this impromptu lunch outings, watching movie on a weekday, which is, some moms might say like, you mad, Ori, but I wanted to do something different with my kids and all that. And I found that they didn't get sick often. They were fed with good food because I cook for them every day and everything. And I find that it really helped me to understand at this point of my life what is really matter, what's the most thing that matters to me. Of course, God came first, and then my family, and then, but with that, right, I could learn how to manage my time, know what is my significance in my own life and everything. Even though I tried so many things online, I tried to do so many online businesses. I was trying to figure out how can I support the family as well. Contributing to the economy of the family. And I tried so many things. It was really disappointing. But my husband kept encouraging me. It doesn't matter, just try, and everything. But until last year, I got into a business which I deal with services for seniors and everything, and that was my calling. And that was the right time because the kids were bigger, and I could get the support from my older kids. My mother-in-law, of course, she's there to help me with picking up the younger ones and everything. And I find that I suddenly found that significance. It took me many years, yeah. So I just want to encourage mothers who are staying at home, don't give up. I felt that I was like a hopeless person being at home, just cook, take care of the kids and all that, and I was stressed out. I was sharing with you, I had hypertension and everything. Seriously, I have hypertension, okay? But because of that, right, the family cared more for me in that sense. They contributed a lot into the household. I think everybody, like I said, once you communicate how you feel about it, how you feel, right, into the family, right, everybody will understand. You will play a role, and everybody needs to know what's their role at home. So I find that now I feel so blessed. I'm able to run a business. It's just starting. I'm so glad I got a good support from friends and families and everything, and I'm able to assist my husband in blessing the home with with an additional income in that sense. Yeah.
Thanks, Orita. Kim, where
Yeah.
do you stand?
So my only experience as a mom has been as a stay-at-home mom. And the reason for why Ben and myself decided for me to do this, to leave my job, is that both my mother and his mother decided to stay home and homeschool us. And just want to say hi, Ma, hi, Mom, because I know they're watching, and to thank you actually that you've inspired us, that we benefited so much from their presence in the home with us, guiding us every step of the way in our schoolwork, in teaching us how to do chores. And that's what we wanted for Judah, that I give my whole attention to him. Of course, there are the pros and cons to it. We did consider everything, like for example, the financial part, especially during this MCO, is much harder as well. Have to tighten our belts. I can't make those super fancy baking stuff that I see all my friends doing on Instagram, and we can't order Grab food every day like some people do. I have to actually cook every single meal, except for today. And just seeing how much hard work that our moms had put in, that that just encouraged us that okay, it is possible to do with their experience, and also learning from them, asking them questions along the way. And even when we hit challenges, or I hit certain times where, like Auntie Ori mentioned about significance, feeling, is this all that there is to being a stay-at-home mom? Just cleaning, washing, cooking, and then feeding the baby, and then it just continues on a loop. So what do I do besides that? And so that's where Auntie Ori actually guided me to say, okay, go and find something that you enjoy doing, and gives you your identity, who you actually are as a person, and you're not just only Kim the mom. You're also Kimberly and every other thing. The CG leader, the sister, the daughter, and I guess reminding myself what is my identity. I'm not only a stay-at-home mom, but I've also reminded myself why I chose to be a stay-at-home mom. Of course, it would be nice to have a lot more things, a lot more money to buy toys for Judah, but at the end of the day, we made this decision, and of course, there's nothing wrong with choosing to be a working mom or choosing to be a stay-at-home mom. But whatever decision that you as a mom make, to especially those going to be moms or new moms, just stick with that decision and remind yourself, write in a journal why you chose this. Made this decision.
Really good advice, Kim. I think I have a confession to make. Even when I started working and I had my daughter, I always felt guilty, because so many of my friends, my own sister, actually, chose to stay at home, and I'm one person that couldn't. So my first experience of being a stay-at-home mom was my confinement time, and believe me or not, right? I mean, we get 2 months maternity leave. After my first month, I put Rebecca into a pram, and I drove to office, and my boss asked me, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I came to office to rest." And because so I think I want to take my hats off for those moms who actually chose to stay at home, but also for those who who chose to work and have a full career like myself, I think it is important that we look to God to give us wisdom, and I think we are blessed in the Asian context that we have a lot of support, isn't it, from our extended families, from helpers that can stay at home, or we can have our extended family overseeing our helpers who look after our kids. So the next question that I want to throw out to our panelists is like, how do you, what do you see the pros and cons of having your extended family living with you as you raise your kids? Dorinda.
I had, we were living with our in-laws for the first 3 years until David was, I think, 3 or 4 years old. So the good thing that came out of it is he's now able to speak Chinese. That is my one regret, that my children, the 2 girls, they do not speak much Chinese. And I feel very, very sad and very guilty about that. So because David was growing up with the in-laws and all that, so he's able to speak Chinese. And then after that, we had the Filipino maids and all that. So yeah lah. If I could do it all over again, I would send them for Chinese classes. Yeah. And also, can I go back to the question that you said earlier? During our days, we were not so aware of seminars and courses and all that for parenting. Whereas now there are so many, you have them online, and you can do it in so many ways. So I would encourage mothers today, young mothers, if you can, to go for these courses and get better, right? So that you can improve. I think if I were to go back to like 20, 30 years ago, I think I would be a better mom. Yeah.
Now you can learn to be a better grandmother.
Yeah, I hope so. I can share that knowledge with them. Yeah.
Oretha, so you had your extended family staying with you as well?
Yeah. So talking about parenting, but there's a parenting course coming up May 16. So sign up for it for young children. Promo, terrible. Okay, so Sajin, I had we stayed with my parents in Stromban, yeah. So when I had Alessandra and Ethan, we stayed with them for a while because I was working in Sepang, and being in Stromban, it was much more easy for us to commute. And the time Sajid was with MAS, and so the distance is better. So staying with my parents is different because they are very chillax, and my mother and my father gets along very well with Sajid. Instead they actually take care of him better than me. If my mom's watching me, she's gonna kill me. But it's different, yeah, staying with your own parents because you're comfortable with the environment, and they are there to my father was always the one who loves to go, and the children love going up the grandfather. He takes them everywhere and everything. So it was very for me, I felt it was very comforting to know that they are there to take care of the kids when we are off to work, because at that young age and everything. And then when we moved back to KL, we stayed by ourselves for a while, and we had a helper. And when we had Aiden, no, sorry, before we had Aiden, we moved into my in-laws' house in Cheras, which is where we are staying right now. During the time, because my father-in-law was not well, and we stayed in there, right? It's different, yeah, because I'm in the in-laws' house. But I never once felt different from how my family was treating me, because my in-laws were very good. They take care of me and all that. And they respect our space and everything. That was the biggest concern. How, because we are going to be like in our room, we have two with the kids and everything, and all that. Because the house not so big, but we're trying to do what we can. But we were concerned about our privacy and everything. But and whether they will butt into our decision making. That's always like the biggest concern when you stay with the in-law. But thankfully, my father-in-law and mother-in-law, they never do that. They really respect our space. And it's quite normal on and off. Yeah, they will nag the kids, which is quite normal and all that. But other than that, they always respected the decisions that we make. And then even after my father-in-law passed away, so we decided to stay on because my mother-in-law is alone. So the good thing out of it was that we had a better relationship, and through that, after years and all that, my mother-in-law also, she accepted Christ, she goes to church with her sisters, and also we encourage her to, like, to be with friends and everything and all that. But I would say that the support when the time when you need it, it's really really good. They don't even think twice about, oh no, I cannot do this and everything and all that. But it's like, okay, just tell me when. So I just have to respect, like, by giving her ample time, and she helps me to pick up the kids, or help me buy food when I can't cook and everything. So thankfully, my mother-in-law, she's not a person who's like very fussy with food. Everything I masak, she makan. Whatever I buy, she will eat. So I'm very thankful for that. So I think that a lot of people, young couples, will struggle, but it all depends on the situation of the time. If the parent needs that need, I think it's important that husband and wife do talk about it and make a choice and decision on how you want to go into that. And it's also important to share with the in-law as well what is your feeling towards it. For first time, going into a home which is not it's really strange to everybody, to both husband and wife, how y'all are going to work it together as a family, not as an individual or not just as a couple. Because we have to think about her her feelings, the father-in-law's feelings, everybody's feelings. So yeah, I think that's a very important thing. In the end of the day, it's about communication. It's really, really important.
Right. So I think all of you are very sort of like, sorry, the two more experienced mom who had people staying. I presume, Kim, you're not staying with your extended mummies and daddies.
No, not at the moment.
Okay. So I mean, I think, I mean, the one thing that sometimes, when you have different people with different ideas and different upbringing staying in a house, that there will be always conflict. And I think, Oritha also raised that, conflict in raising your kids, and I mean, I came home one day and I saw my daughter, 6 months old, eating chocolate all over. I mean, but because I chose to be a working mom, right? And then grandma gave her some chocolate, so that was fine. And I think it's that give and take, isn't it? And I think
Yeah.
Oritha really stressed on there's something about open communication. I think it's a great thing that we can have our extended family staying with us. I mean, I've got both sets, my mom and my in-law staying with me, and I think it's a good opportunity for our kids to learn amidst the conflict and the good times, that we really learn that they can also watch us, right? How we honor our parents. So in that same way, they will also honor us. So, no, our focus is, I mean, I think as parents, nobody will fault us. We want to give our best to the kids. And so grandparents as well, they will want to give the best to your kids. I just want to throw out this question, perhaps starting with you, Kim. So, I mean, based on all that you've read, right, what is it that you need to do to motivate Judah to achieve his greatest potential?
Wow. I would definitely draw from my own experience as my mother's daughter, as how she motivated me and my sisters. One of it would be, a lot of times she does let us go through a struggle, and then that kind of like teaches us a lesson and say, oh, okay, because I didn't study hard or I didn't do something, then there's a consequence to it. And she would call it reality discipline. And so that sort of motivated us to want to work harder, because malu lah, I didn't work hard, so I suffer lah. She doesn't have to suffer for our laziness, but we have to suffer. And so that, in a sense, sort of motivated us. But also the fact that she would always be there for a pep talk. She would give us a pep talk, or she'll listen to us cry and share our struggles. And then she would always know the right thing to say. So I really admire her for that, that she always had the right words to say. But at the end of the day, the main message was always that I'm here for you. Yeah.
Okay, so you always will be there for Judah. Great.
Yes.
Oritha,
Yes.
how do you motivate your kids through the ages?
Okay. I think by observing and listening to them. My dad is a person who always taught us, like, in anything that we do, we always have to do our best, whatever that we do. Okay. And always giving each other the opportunity and second chances to do what needs need to be done. So with for the kids, right, we kind of like observe what their interests from a very young age. And then, it's like a trial and error because sometimes it may be, it may not be, right? So like Alyssa, she's very, initially when she was young, she was not like into girly stuff and everything. So we kind of not too sure what she's into and everything. And she grew older, then we realized that she likes things like what I like, fashion, makeup, and all. But she's a bit more extreme than me, lah. Okay, and but she enjoys that, and in the end, she did what she wanted to do. She studied fashion, which I did fashion and textile as well, and but she had a different twist of why she wants to study fashion because she wants to know the back end of what it is and get into styling. And she wanted to do hair, makeup, and we're like, okay, this is what we want. We encourage you, lah. So how do we encourage them by bringing them for exhibition, show them this, pay for their makeup or hair or something like that, that kind of thing. And I think it's to walk alongside with them. Ethan he's in college now. He's from young. He has this interest about bikes and motor cars and everything and all that. So he at a very young age he was dyslexic, but that didn't stop us from just limiting ourselves to what he is then, right? So we could see greater potential, and we always encourage that. You know what? So what if you're dyslexic? There's so many people who did very well, in their life, and you should never let people put you down. And you should always never think that you are just limited to this. You must always push harder. Push harder. If you fall, get up again, do it again. That's what grandpa taught me as well. That's what we do. And now he's in college. He's studying about automotive and everything. And I was like, so what if everybody thinks you're a mechanic? Somebody's got to fix the car, man. And say, and you got to do a good job out of it. So this is what you motivate them, you see. And you walk alongside, bring them to exhibitions. And he has uncles. My brother would take him. My cousin sometimes all would be with Saji. They go for motor shows and all that. And when I was working in Formula One, he gets to go with the dad watch Formula One. It's really so. This is what we do to cultivate. And Aiden and Caleb has different interests as well. So it's not easy. Yes, having 4 children, or even have more children or 2 children or whatever, it's not easy. But the important thing is that to recognize and to hear them out. I think is to see their potential and just to encourage them. And if they fall back a bit, they need to fall a little bit to understand it. We can tell them as much as they want to hear, but at the end of the day, they need to experience that and walk that. If they find that, okay, lah, maybe mommy and daddy wants advice not so good, I'll try this. And if they fall, they learn from it and they will come back to you. They say, you know what, I thought this was right, but you know what, let's try this way. Fine, let's do it. So that's how I think it's very important is to see their potential and hear them out. I think that's important.
Yeah, thank you. Always being there for them, right? Dorinda, share your thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's very important that we go through with the child what his passion is. There is a difference between being passionate about something and being good at something. So you can be good at something but have no passion for it. So, but I think passion is more important. Like, for example, our youngest girl, Danielle, she when she wanted to go to uni, she wanted to do teaching. So after 1 year, she said, I don't see myself being a teacher for the rest of my life. So we asked her what she wanted to do. She wanted to be a youth pastor. So we said, okay, but being Asian parents, you must get a proper degree first, So okay, if you want to be a youth pastor, maybe you take up counseling because that will help you when you deal with the youth. Right. So she went and she did counseling. And after she finished, she told us, Mom and Dad, I have finished what you wanted me to do. I have honored you. And now I want to do what I want to do, which is to be a makeup artist. So she wanted to do a makeup course. Actually, she wanted that halfway through her course, but he said, no, get your actual degree first. So she did her makeup course, and now she is a photographer and a makeup artist. And we see so much creativity in her, which we had never seen before. We never knew she had, and she is happy doing what she wants to do because she has the passion for it. So it is very important. And even Denise, she from young, she always had a heart to help the marginalized and all that. And she opted for a degree in development studies, which is to help community development and all that. And we thought, okay, when she comes out, what is she going to do? She's going to join an NGO and all that. So we asked her, are you sure that's what you want to do? She said yes. And we are glad we let her do what she wanted. And after her degree, she joined World Vision Malaysia, and she's very happy. And then after 5 years with World Vision, she said she wanted to do more. And this year, she's taken a year off to do her master's in public policy. So, which is really good, you know, like it came from herself that she wants to do more. She wants to study and be better equipped to do the things that she wants to do. And even our son, when he was in uni, he was like just sailing through, you know, we just say, okay, just get your degree and then we'll be very happy, you know. But now, after he started working, this year, he has also started doing his EMBA, and he is so passionate and so enthusiastic. We have never seen our son so excited about studying, right? So of course now Nikki has to make that sacrifice lah, because he is quite an intensive course, but he is enjoying it because he said he sees the relevance to what he's doing, right? So I think that's why I see passion is so important. They must have that passion. Once they have that passion, they will not get tired. No matter how hard it is, they will work hard for it and they will not feel tired because the passion is there. So it is very important that we help them to find what their passion is, and then we encourage them.
Thank you. Really sound advice. So just to summarize what my three panelists have said, right? It's about being there to support their desires and their ambition, and really helping them to discover what motivates them. And I think, you know, I spend a lot of time counseling, doing vocational counseling, and I think that is so important. You know, recently I received a note from someone I counseled many years ago, and she said, Auntie Christina, I followed your advice. I went to Sheffield and then she said, oh, by the way, I also met my husband in England. So I think it's so important that you we allow our children to follow their passion. Okay, I think we are going to take some live comments from our participants. So we will see what questions that we have coming through. And let me see. Okay, the first one that I have, okay, I'm going to target it to the young mom first, Kimberly, and then we'll do our rounds, okay? If you had a superpower as a mom, what would it be?
I think the first thing that comes to my head is, for those of you who have watched the movie Incredibles, the mom's superpower, it makes a lot of sense, especially as a mom to a baby where they can't walk to you when they want something, so they just scream their lungs out. And so one experience would be when I have to cook and I'm outside, my kitchen's outside of the house, so I have to cook the meal, and then I have to put him outside because I don't want him to get splashed with oil, right? So that the mom's superpower in The Incredibles is that her arms stretch out really long. So I would love if I could, you know, have my hand in the hall with the baby, carry him and juggle him, and on the other hand, you know, use my hand to fry the food. So yeah, probably long arms to be able to reach whatever, and also when my husband can't find something, you know, just go straight to the bedroom, even though I'm downstairs cooking, find the thing he needs and bring it to him. Yeah, so that's probably the superpower.
Okay, so being at two places, more than one place at one time, is your superpower.
Pretty-
Orita, what about you?
I would say the power of speed. Where I always have to be like everywhere at one go. So with speed, I can do things fast and be like wherever I need to be at one time.
Dorinda?
Yeah, I want to be able to multitask even more, right? Even now, you know, like before I go to bed, I'll be planning, okay, tomorrow morning I have to cook this for lunch, for dinner, and then, oh, did I bring out the food to thaw? And then tomorrow there's this and that, so many things. And then the children will go, Mom, this, Mom, that, and my husband will be calling. So to be able to multitask even more than we're doing now, Yeah, that would be good.
That is a super
So
power.
much.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. My superpower would be, I think, make make them just how to say, make all the exams go away so that they would just love and enjoy doing exams. I don't know. Don't think I can do that. Okay. Let me see. Do we have another question? Question 2. How do you recharge as mums, Dorinda?
Oh, okay.
Um, my me time. I need my me time. Sometimes it's to just go out, have coffee, have lunch with friends, have a good yak, have a good laugh. And there are times when I just want to be home alone and do nothing. I feel very much refreshed after that, just to do nothing or just to read my book. I enjoy reading more than watching movies and all that. So if I can just have a good book and just be lazy, I feel a little bit guilty, but I say I don't care. I need this time to recharge. So that is how I recharge, and it feels really good. I think we have to learn to love ourselves now.
Oritha?
Yeah.
It's true. So yeah, it's also me time. I've learned how to love myself. I give myself 1 week once to meet up with coffee for breakfast with a girlfriend, and then I will enjoy being alone at times as well, where I'm able to journal. I able to just sit down, have a cup of coffee, just read my book and everything. And my and the kids know that mommy needs it. Not means mommy become grumpy. Okay, so I always tell the children. I always tell Sajid like, okay, this morning I'm going to go to I'm going to be at Kinokuniya. Okay, I go to Kinokuniya and I have this spot that overlooks the fountain and the garden area by the window. So I get a book, I write, I get a coffee in the cafe there and just spend time. And I just need to process my thoughts. I just want to have pure silence. Pure silence means then I'll go out in the garden and just sit there at the park. So sometimes it's just what we need just to be recharged. And like what Dorinda says, sometimes I just like to be at home as well, just not doing anything, especially when the kids are all in school and working, right? Silence, just in the room and just able to do what I want to do.
Kim, what do you do?
Yeah. I think I do all the things that Auntie Dorinda and Auntie Arita mentioned, as well as when I'm up all night feeding the baby, carrying him. Sleep is definitely a good recharge. It's like plugging into the power source.
Mm.
Spending time with God, just like also sometimes just it's like not doing anything, but just sitting there and just ranting to God, as well as talking to my friends, because it is important to also sometimes have that separation between, okay, I'm being needed, my whole body is needed by this small child, but now I have a chance to think about something intellectual to talk about rather than just goo goo gaga. So my friends definitely help me
Yeah, that's
recharge.
true.
Speaking to them online now during the MCO, and just talking to them about anything, yeah, helps me
Thanks,
recharge.
Kim. Okay, so what do I do to recharge? Being a multitask person, I watch Netflix while doing my numbers by painting by numbers. So, that's how I recharge. Okay, I think, look, time is coming up. We have one final question. Let me see. This question comes from Lillian. Many parents have dreams for their children. What would you do if the children don't flow into your dreams? So, so your children's dreams are not like your dreams. So what? Let me see. Okay, Kim, since you have to share your experience as a no, I think the experience that you got from your mom. How did your mom make sure that her dreams didn't flow into yours, or was your dream sort of like her dreams?
It's a bit of a special question, that one, because my mom and I are just so alike. So yeah, many times, because I studied psychology, And many times she'll say that she wished that she could study psychology back when she was younger. And she didn't push that dream upon me. But I guess just having a relationship with her, talking to her, hearing about the world, and my mother's favorite topic is really like general knowledge. She wants to talk to me about COVID, about the Prime Minister, about being a mom, about certain movies and TV shows. So I guess she didn't push that dream on me, and she allowed me to find my own dream. And just so happens, because we're so alike, I ended up finding a dream that's very similar to hers. Yeah,
Okay. So that's
but I
about
think,
maybe the
yeah,
benefit of her staying at home with you.
yeah, definitely. But I think just thinking about for Judah, um, to make sure that I don't push my dreams on him, I think it's important for that check and balance with me and my husband, as well as with my siblings. I really appreciate their feedback. They are very, very honest with me. Sometimes a bit painful honesty, but they would say, "Hey, I think you're spoiling Judah. Don't do that too much to him because he'll end up like this next time." And so it's a very good reminder to myself that I don't want to force Judah to become something, a dream that I have for him, but rather that he has to find his own way.
Oritha?
Yeah, I agree with Kim. I think we should not push our dream into into our children's path. Firstly, because my parents never did that to me, and I think I think it flows from how we were brought up again. You know? So when my parents there's you need to choose what do you want to do. So they hear you out, what you want and everything and all that. They will give their thoughts and their ideas and everything and everything. And in the end of the day, they will actually encourage you to do what is important because that's your future. But I feel, yeah, sorry, no buts. Actually, it's like with our children, we have to hear them out. I feel that if we put our dreams into their path, they're going to do something grudgingly, okay, and they're going to do like what Dorinda mentioned, Danielle, right? She just said, "Here, mom, I've done this, but now I'm going to pursue this." And I've heard so many stories of that as well, and that was something that I learned from people's responses, that I will not put my dreams to my children because Sanjay and I always have this thing where we need to hear what they want. It's not about what we want. In the end of the day, like Dorinda said, they must have that passion for it. So what happens when a child doesn't look have a upbringing where the parents allow them to do what they want to do, to study or work according to what they want? I guess we need to change that mindset. We change that pattern, yeah. So if we make a choice whether we want to be as how we were growing up, or we make a difference to our future generation, which is our children, because they will pick it up from you. So I believe that our dreams should not be imposed into our children. We need to hear them out. They need to build up their own dreams.
Thanks, Oritha. And I think the time is sort of like catching up, and I want to just draw us back to what Dorinda shared about how she allowed her kids to actually follow their dreams, which were not necessarily her Asian parent dream, and yet what a great testimony that they are all successful in their own right. So just to wrap up today's session, I just want to end with one final question. Okay, just one word. Okay, one word. How would you describe your motherhood journey? Starting with Dorinda.
2 words, Ken. I would say never boring.
Oritha
Adventurous.
and Kim.
Fulfilling.
And for me, rewarding. So thank you, mothers, for joining us today. Really appreciate your honesty and sharing your heart with us. I just want to out there, as we close today, I just want to give out a shout out and honor, a lot of mothers out there who are single mothers who actually, have more
Yeah.
challenges than every one of us raising their kids. We just want to honor you. We want to also honor our spiritual mothers who, through our lives, I think all of us have a spiritual mother to oversee and help us grow in our journey and become better mothers. So I just want to again close with saying thank you very much for joining us, and happy Mother's Day. And please do join us again next week, because in the next week we will have another really exciting topic. Do join us again, same time at 4 p.m. We have Victor Chua hosting our Real Talk on the topic Understanding the Financial World Post-COVID-19. And we have with us Jason Chung, CEO of Manulife Asset Management Services, who will be sharing with us. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you again next week. Thanks,
Bye.
Thank you.
mothers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.